Simone, and I'm back at it again with another video for my channel, Kiana Gainz. And I will be talking to you guys about why y'all should join the military. And obviously you can't take my word for why I joined because you may have different reasons, but I'm just here to tell you the benefits, honestly. So the first benefit that I feel like a lot of people take advantage of when they first get in, or just while they're in general, is the education benefits. So there are so many opportunities to get a degree, whether it is in the job that you're in or if it's in something else. And there's also opportunities to pretty much get certifications paid for by the government. And I feel like that's a good deal because if you want to become an EMT, you can get the Air Force to pay for it because those classes are not cheap. The next one is the health benefits. So obviously, as we all know, healthcare is so expensive and it's just so hard to find a good doctor. And with the military, you are pretty much guaranteed a doctor. They do checkups yearly. And of course, if you're like having an issue with something in your health wise, I guess, you can always go and ask to see a doctor. They do flu shots, immunizations, birth control, prenatals. They even do, what is it? Plan B, you know? And okay, Plan B is not cheap, but in the military, you can get it for free. You just have to go to the clinic and they'll be like, here. And then on top of that, healthcare is so expensive, especially when you're trying to have children. When you go to the military, they pretty much assign you a doctor. If you don't really like them, you do have the opportunity to change it. But obviously, it's a small selection, but you still have the choice, and it's free. The next thing that I feel like is really like good is the fact that if you want to live off base after a certain rank, more specifically the Air Force, because I've talked to other branches and they're like, yeah, the only way we get paid to live off base is if we're married. But with the Air Force, you can pretty much live off base and get a BAH, and typically they do this when there's too many airmen coming in and they need spots for them to live on base, or you might be at the rank where it's just like not really acceptable, and that's typically at E4 and up, because obviously once you become a sergeant, you're not really supposed to fraternize. But along with BAH, oh, I forgot to explain what that is. But BAH is pretty much a housing allowance. You can either live on base, like in their housing, or you can find an apartment or buy a house and pretty much live with that housing allowance. And pretty much, like, typically the housing allowance is supposed to reflect the surrounding area. So if you're in California, and you know California is not cheap, your housing allowance is supposed to reflect that. And obviously if you move somewhere cheaper, it's gonna reflect that. And of course, you can always live with people or live with your coworkers, so it's like you can save money by doing that. And then you also get BAS, which is just pretty much food money. So when you're in the dorms, you do not get that because it is taken out of your paycheck monthly, and you usually just have, like, you use your CAT card to like pretty much buy food from the DFAC or from like any like restaurants that they allow you to buy from with that. So you get food money and you get housing money. And of course, like, if the money does not reflect the like certain economy, typically what happens is it will be brought to the government's attention and they will raise the amount of money that you get, which is what happened at my base, and it has happened to other bases as well. And they also did recently raise the BAS because of inflation. So they try to make sure that we are well equipped, if that makes sense. The next thing is that you will always have a steady income. If you get sick, you're still getting a paycheck. If you get a surgery, you're still getting a paycheck. If you're on leave, you're still getting a paycheck. I know there's some jobs where it's like, oh, you're sick, you didn't clock in, so you don't get no money. But the Air Force is like, yo, you're sick. Like, obviously you have to provide the correct paperwork, but you're still getting paid. You're still getting leave for free, and you're getting paid by your own leave. Obviously it's not for free because that's just what we're allotted. But with that being said, we get 30 days of leave per year. That is, it's a lot, but I feel like it's not, but it is. Like, but let me break it down to you. In a year, there's like at least a holiday per month. So already, if you have a decent job, you're not working weekends, and then on top of that, if there's a holiday, it's gonna turn into a 3-day weekend. So, and it's like, okay, I have basically a 3-day weekend every month, and then you have 30 days on top of that. And then I know some bases, well, it really just depends on where you're stationed at, but for the most part, what I've noticed at the bases that I've been at, you will have either Christmas week off or New Year's week off, and then you'll be working the week that you didn't have off, but you used to have that full week off. And it's just like, okay, but of course if like you want to leave the local area, then you gotta take leave, but it's still like 30 days. And another benefit that I like, for me at least, is that every base has a gym. So it's pretty much no reason why you should be slacking off in the gym. I mean, obviously everyone has their reasons, but they make it really easy to stay like healthy because there's a free gym, and oftentimes those free gyms come with 24/7 access. Obviously not every gym is the same, but you know, it is what it is. And depending on where your job is, you may even have a gym with your squadron, and that's even cooler, and usually those gyms are better. So yeah, those are pretty much the benefits. You have free education, you have 30 days of paid leave yearly, you have a steady paycheck, a steady income, you have free health care, you have a food and a housing allowance when you move off base, and then on top of that you have a gym. What more could you want? But yeah, that is it for the video, and I hope you like it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.